All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Wrong Time on the Right Time YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Also, keep coming back to the YouTube channel where we've got YouTube exclusive content, including The Wrong Time, concert reviews, music series, all kinds of things. I needed to, sometimes I kind of want to use this space to, sometimes I just need to talk, right? And I need to be talked to. I need, a little help or something. And I need y'all to help me out here, okay? Y'all tell me what y'all think, or anybody. But, is Russell Wilson good again? So all I'm trying to figure out here, is Russell Wilson good again? Because I'm going to tell you guys right now, for 3 years, Russell Wilson was not good. There's no way around it. Sometimes the numbers look good and he wasn't as good. Sometimes the numbers look bad and he looked just as bad. And sometimes that happened with a bad coach. Sometimes it happened with guys that we think are good coaches. Sometimes it just happened with Seattle. Either way it went. 3 years, my man did not look good under much different circumstances each time. And then he comes to Pittsburgh, and it was just a couple weeks ago that we were saying they was tripping because they benched Justin Fields because Justin Fields had looked good, and he didn't bench a guy who looked good, especially for somebody who looked sorry for 3 straight years. And then next thing you know, Russell Wilson come back, and Russell Wilson don't look sorry. Russell Wilson out here dropping dimes on people, right? Russell Wilson is throwing them moon balls that they be talking about he be throwing. You know what I'm saying? He doing that stuff now. All I'm asking is, how did Mike Tomlin know that he was good again? Can anybody answer that for me? There was no evidence that he was good for 3 years. He got in there in practice. He ain't hurt himself. He ain't played in I don't know how long. I need to know how Mike Tomlin knew that he was good. Is it the same way that he knew that time to stand on the field so that dude could run into him or almost run into him? You remember when that happened? He just got a knack. I don't get it. Tomlin is such a trick bag when you start talking about, evaluating him as a coach because he is the ultimate floor raiser. Your team will never be sorry if Mike Tomlin is your coach. If you'll give me a brief moment, I will pull up Mike Tomlin's Wikipedia page, and then we can come up with what the problem is. There we go. The last time Mike Tomlin won a playoff game, Obama was the president. Got to be honest about this. The more I think about it, it's a little awkward. All of Mike Tomlin's wins in the playoffs, well, not all of them. He won the Super Bowl in the Obama era, but the playoff games, Obama hadn't taken over yet. Is this to say that he can only win if they got a black quarter? Oh, I don't even want to think about that. White folks going to take me a little bit too seriously. However, it's a bit of a coincidence, I have to say. Right, just throwing it out there. Hey, in fact, you know what? Maybe that's what it is. Kamala Harris need to win the presidency, and then the Steelers will be going right back to glory. Make you go to the Super Bowl 2 times in 3 years. Mike Tomlin feel the power. You know what I'm saying? He feel the glow. It emanates out. It radiates within him. But seriously, if Russell Wilson is good, they're good. If Russell Wilson is good, they are not the good that we think about, the Steelers are always going to be good. No, if Russell Wilson is good, they are a problem, a big problem, especially since it appears that any of us can play defense for the Baltimore Ravens. Maybe not defense, but we could definitely play cornerback. At least right now, they've done a couple of cornerbacks, and now they just got a couple dudes in there. I'm surprised they ain't called Dominique. I'm not saying that Dominique would take their call, but I'm saying he could probably do better than they could out there. You know what I'm saying? No. Pittsburgh is a thing right now, and this is cool, right? It's a lot better when the Steelers are actually good rather than just being good enough to beat bad teams, and we still got to talk about them because they're not always that much fun to watch. You know what I mean? It's a little bit boring to watch the Steelers play. But hey, Russell Wilson might be good. What about Patrick Mahomes? I believe he has 8 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. I want to say something right now. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback that I have ever seen. And for 1 straight year, he has not been very good. In the course of that year, his team has won a Super Bowl. This is the thing about quarterback. It's different than any other position in the NFL, and it's different in this way. In every other position, pretty much, you start off where you are, you get to whatever your best is going to be, and then after you're not as good as you were at your best, it just gets worse, and it tends to happen fast, right? It's a pretty steady arc. Get good, get better, get worse. That's how it goes. Quarterback, it's a bit more of an EKG situation, right? You get guys like Peyton Manning, he was okay his rookie year, just threw a bunch of interceptions. But then the next couple of years, or next year at least, he was really good. And then he had a couple of years, not too long after that, where he wasn't good at all. And then he looked like he was maybe the best quarterback that we had ever seen. We saw it happen with Tom Brady. Tom Brady had a spike back up after he was 75 years old. We've seen this happen with so many of these guys where it's not just a steady ride. But are we at a point where with somebody like Russell Wilson, you can get better in your 30s? We're clearly at a place where somebody like Patrick Mahomes, for whatever reason, can look not as good now as he had through all that time. Maybe the circumstances that we're talking about are outside of him, but I ain't never seen him throw that many interceptions, and that's just not the fault simply of the guys that he throws the ball to, or not the fault simply of the scheme. Like, this is always going to be a position where it's a little bit trick or treat what you get from the guys, even the guys that you think are really good. What happens very often in these cases is we make a decision in our minds what we think about those guys, and then we don't adapt to what they are in a moment, right? And so what I try to figure out and what to reconcile with like a dude like Patrick Mahomes, he's the best quarterback I've ever seen. How do I reconcile that sentence with him not being the best quarterback that I'm looking at right now, right? So it's almost like I'm giving him a title that he can't lose, but you still got to be able to be like, but right now it ain't really hit. And we know how to do that. We just normally do it with old people, right? We could do it with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers looked like the best quarterback I'd ever seen at one point, or maybe at the very least, one of the best quarterbacks that I'd ever seen. But we can acknowledge right now that he ain't that dude because he's 40-something years old, right? Like when somebody get old like that, you can acknowledge that they're cooked. But what if this for him, it just happens to be one of those dips, but he old, so you can't like get it right back up. You see what I'm saying? Russell Wilson is also old, but he's just a little bit younger. And it seemed a couple circumstances changed, and he came. And now, at least after 2 games, he looked good again. I guess it's also possible that in a month, he may look sorry like he did for the last 3 years again. I don't really know what it is. It's all very confusing. So it sounds like it was all a very long-winded way of me just coming around and saying, I got no idea who's going to win the Super Bowl. I got no idea who's going to be good anymore. Everything is a week-to-week basis right now. If I can't trust that Patrick Mahomes is the best, and I got to entertain the possibility that Russell Wilson can come back from the dead, it just feels sometimes like we're all just guessing, except when I'm right. I always knew what was going to happen when I'm right. The NBA is officially back, which means you can turn $10 into $1,000 in a single game watching your favorite teams only on Prize Picks. You can make a Prize Picks lineup between the NFL and the NBA in as little as 60 seconds. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what make Prize Picks the #1 fantasy sports app. So make sure you go to prizepicks.com/Bomani and use code Bomani for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/Bomani. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.